Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 18, text number 7 and 8. Tam Nissarantam Salilad Anudrutaha Tam Nissarantam Salilad Anudruto Hiraṇyākṣaha Dviradam Yata Jashaha Hiraṇyākṣo Dviradam Yata Jashaha Karaladamshtraha Ashani Nishvanaha Abraved Karaladamstro Ashani Nishvano Abraved Gatahriyam Kim Tu Asatam Vigarhitam Gatahriyam Kim Tu Asatam Vigarhitam Tam Nissarantam Saliladanudruto Hiraṇyākṣo Dviradam Yata Jashaha Karaladamshro Asani Nishvano Abraved Gatahriyam Kim Tu Asatam Vigarhitam Tvam Nissarantam Saliladanudruto Hiraṇyākṣo Dviradam Yata Jashaha Karaladamshro Asani Nisvano Abraved Gatahriyam Kim Tu Asatam Vigarhitam. Tam him Nissarantam coming out Salilas from the water Anudrutaha chased Hiraṇyākṣaha having golden hair Dviradam an elephant Yata as Jashaha a crocodile Karaladamshtraha having fearful teeth Asani Nishvanaha roaring like thunder Abraved he said Gatahriyam for those who are shameless Kim what Tu indeed Asatam for the wretches Vigarhitum reproachable. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. The demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures." Please repeat the translation. The demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When the Lord was coming out of the water, taking the earth in his arms to deliver it, the demon derided him with insulting words. But the Lord did not care because he was very conscious of his duty. For a dutiful man, there is nothing to fear. Similarly, those who are powerful have no fear of derision or unkind words from an enemy. The Lord had nothing to fear from anyone, yet he was merciful to his enemy by neglecting him. Although apparently he fled from the challenge, it was just to protect the earth from calamity that he tolerated Hiraṇyākṣa's deriding words. Next verse, I'll recite myself. Sagam udastat salilasya gochare vinyasya tasyam adadat sasvatvam abhistuto vishvasruja prasuner apuryamano vibudai pashyatore. Translation. The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahmā, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rained flowers on him. Purport. Those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead floated the earth on water. But to devotees of the Lord, that is not a very wonderful act. Not only earth, but many, many millions of planets are floating in the air, and this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. There is no other possible explanation. The materialist can explain that the planets are floating by the law of gravitation, but the law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. That is the version of Bhagavad Gita, which confirms by the Lord's statement that behind the material laws are nature's laws, and behind the growth, maintenance, and production and evolution of all planetary systems, behind everything is the Lord's direction. The Lord's activities could be appreciated only by the demigods headed by Brahmā, and therefore when they saw the uncommon prowess of the Lord in keeping the earth on the surface of the water, they showered flowers on him in appreciation of his transcendental activity. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshuram militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Nama om Vishnu padaya Krishna preshtaya bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gauravaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, what happened after the Lord brought the earth out of the lower planetary systems level or from the ocean, and how Hiraṇyākṣa responded to that situation is mentioned in these two verses. Tam nissarantam shalilad anudrutaha. So Tam, who is that Tam? The Supreme Lord, Varaha. Nissarantam shalilad, he was coming out of the water. Anudrutaha, he was chased by a person. Who was that person? Hiraṇyākṣa, he had golden hair. Dviradam yata jashaha, like an elephant being chased by a crocodile from the water. Karala damshtaha, he had fearful teeth. Asani nishvanaha, and his voice was like a roaring of a thunder. With that voice, abravit, he spoke to the Lord. Gatah hriyam, O shameless creatures. Kim nu asatam vigarhitam, what is something reproachable for you? I am scolding, still you are running away. I am challenging you to fight, but you are shamelessly running away from the battle. So he started scolding the Lord. So in the translation, Prabhupada says, the demon who had golden hair on his head, Hiraṇyākṣa, and fearful tusks, Karala damshtraha, gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water. Tam salilad nissarantam anudrutaha. Even as an alligator would chase an elephant, dviradam yata jashaha. Roaring like thunder, asani nishvano, he said, abravit, are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? Gatah hriyam. And there is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures. Kim tu asatam vigarhitum. So he is actually deriding the Lord. So why was Lord trying to avoid his situation? In the purport, Prabhupada explains, Lord was the earth who was there within the position of Lord Varaha was very fearful. The last verse says, earth was very fearful of the situation. So to pacify her and to give her assurance that Lord is there to protect, Lord avoided the situation of confronting with Hiraṇyākṣa. When the Lord was coming out from the water, taking the earth in his arms to deliver the demon derided him with insulting words. But the Lord did not care because he was very conscious of his duty. So Lord was very responsible of his duty because he wanted to bring out the earth and place it back in its respective position. And he has to give assurance to that Mother Earth also that she is under complete protection. The Lord had nothing to fear from anyone, yet he was merciful to his enemy by neglecting him. There is nobody equal to. Lord's name is Asama Urdhava. Sama, there is no Sama, there is nobody Urdhva. There is nobody equal to the Lord or nobody greater than the Lord. Then how can somebody conquer the Lord? Why he should be fearful? When fear personified is running away from the Lord, then Lord is fearful of what? One of the Kunti Maharani prayers. Krishna is running away by seeing the stick in the Mother Yashoda's hand. This is very wonderful to me, Ascharya. Because fear personified is running away from Krishna. And Krishna is running away from Mother Yashoda. This is most astonishing. So in the next verse also it continues. Sagam udasid salilasya gochare. So Gam, Mother Earth, Udashit, he was placed on the surface of the water, Salilat, Udashit, Gochare, within his sight, within its proximity. Vinyasya tasyam adadat swasatvam. Then he invested within that Mother Earth the potency to float on the water. Abhistuto Vishwashujo Prasunair. Abhistutaha. Then the demigod Vishwashujaha, Lord Brahma, started offering prayers. Prasuner apuryamano vibudei pashyato rehe. Pashyato arehe. While the demon was looking upon the demigods, prasunei abhivarshitei. They were raining flowers unto the Lord. Because the purpose of Lord's incarnation was to protect the Mother Earth and later to kill the demon. But primarily protection of Mother Earth was the primary purpose. The objective was fulfilled. The duty was executed. So the demigods became very happy and they started flowering, raining like flowers upon the Lord. So the Lord placed the earth within the sight on the surface of the water. Sa vinyasyagam gochare salilasya udastar. And transferred to her his own potency in the form of ability to float on the water. Tasyam adada swasatvam. While the enemy stood looking on, Pashyato arehe. Brahmā extolled the Lord. Vishwasujaha abhistutaha apuryamanaha. And the other demigods rained flowers on him. Vibudei prashunair. So the Lord's activities, which are uncommon, are appreciated only by devotees, headed by Brahmā and other demigods. Demons and all cannot appreciate the activities of the Lord. They deride the activities of the Lord. They deride even the existence of the Lord. So this whole scenario brings us one more place where in Bhagavatam we see Krishna running away from the battlefield. He is known as a Ranachora. He was called as Ranachora by whom? Jarasandha. Why? Krishna ran away from the battlefield when Jarasandha was trying to fight him. But if you see the scenario, is it the first time that Krishna was fighting with Jarasandha there? 17 times before Krishna had defeated Jarasandha. Jarasandha each time came with some 15 to 16 Akshohini army. And each time Krishna killed everyone except Jarasandha. Every time he went back, defeated, morose, and again he came back with again army. Again Krishna killed. Why was Krishna doing this? So Krishna's specific purpose was to reduce the burden of the earth. Unnecessarily accumulated army he is trying to wipe out. So 17 times when he had defeated, 18th time when it was opportunity for Krishna to interact with Jarasandha, Krishna received one information. Emergency. What was that emergency? Rukmini said, you have to come faster. They are trying to marry me with Shishupala. So Lord thought, instead of fighting, because I am not supposed to kill him, because Jarasandha was destined to die by Bhima. That's why he was not killing. Or else day one itself, Krishna could have killed him. So he was just waiting, he was just playing around. So this time he thought, no, this is not the opportunity. My primary task, my duty, because somebody had sent a letter asking to come and protect me. And when a Kshatriya is asked for shelter, and it is the duty of the Kshatriya to provide shelter, even though it might be from an enemy. Now here itself is the Lord's consort is asking, please come and kidnap me. What is her point also? Please come and kidnap me. And the first love letter, which we all know, was Rukmini's love letter to Krishna. And how she was glorifying. She had never seen Krishna. It is not love at first sight, it is love at first hearing. She just heard from Krishna, she just heard from Narada Muni about Krishna. Just the descriptions were so nice that she became fascinated, she became naturally attracted. See, that is the eternal bond between the Lord and his consort. You don't require a reason that they have to become connected. They are always connected. But this was a pastime for all of us to relish. So even now if you go to temple, there is one temple in Gujarat near Ahmedabad, Dakor. There Krishna is worshipped as Ranchodji, one who ran away from the battle. Generally for a Kshatriya, if somebody runs away from the battle, it is the most derogatory thing. Krishna even says to Arjuna, if you run away from the battle, second chapter, that 37, 35, 32, the great warriors who are all there speaking glorious of you will talk ill of you. And it is better that you die rather than running away from the battle. But Krishna ran away from the battle and today we are worshipping him as Ranchodji. See, any activity Krishna does is always glorious. And any activity we try to imitate him, it becomes inglorious. So what was the prime duty of the Lord was always to attend to his devotees. That was his prime duty. Like most of the reasons why Lord comes to this material world, Prabhupada says, Paritranaya sadhunam, Vinashaya chadushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. These three things can be executed by anyone. To protect the devotees, to kill the demons, to establish the religious principle, these three things can be done by anyone, empowered by the Lord. But why Lord specifically comes to this material world is because the devotee wanted to see the Lord in that specific form. The Lord comes to fulfill the desire of the devotee because he wants to see the Lord, form of the Lord in that particular mode. Lord comes in that way only. That was the primary reason. So yesterday I was hearing one small story, a real incident. This was when a Westerner, an Indian girl who was studying in a Western university, America, where that area is mostly, that area where she was studying, that university was surrounded by black people. So there was one particular stretch where she had to go through their community, which is around 3 to 4 kilometers stretch. So these people and all will be there outside on the road, ready to plunder, kidnap, kill. If you don't give money, that's it, done. So notorious camp. Most of the people, they don't stay there on that way. They don't even walk on that road. So just go faster in their vehicles. So this girl, every day she used to pass away. One day, accidentally, her car broke down. she had to walk to her university, which is around 4 kilometers. In their terminology, it was 4 miles. So, whole time she was always thinking how to pass through this situation. So, she was continuously chanting the holy name of Lord Ramachandra. She was very much connected with Ram. So, she was chanting the holy name of the Ram. And on the way, she is seeing all these ferocious people, hefty personalities, everyone is. Somebody is having drinking bottle, beer bottles, everything and all. Somebody are playing around with weapons. And everyone were staying silent. Nobody was bothering her. They were all giving way and she was walking in between them. When they came near the university, her friend was there. She got to know her friend and she went away inside. Because there was one companion. So next day, one of her class students who was from that area, he had asked her, what was so special yesterday when you are coming? And she was also wondering why people are giving her way and all. She was going. She was thinking. The whole time she was only chanting, Rama, 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 Rama. So next day her friend asked, yesterday who were the 2 people who came behind you? They were dressed in policemen. So when the other people, they are all seeing 2 people following her as policemen dress. So they were giving way and she was proceeding. But she did not see anybody. She was only chanting the holy name of Rama. So who are those policemen? Ram Lakshman. So everybody felt there were 2 policemen accompanying her. And they were thinking, she is such a great lady, 2 policewomen are escorting her. And they gave way. And she was not even conscious. She was only simply praying out of fear. She was praying to the Lord and she was going there. See, this is the value. Or we may know or we may not know. Why it is required for us to know? Because Shastra, when Lord said, I am there for your protection. That holy name of the Lord is all protective. When every day we read the glories of the holy name, these are the practical incidences to inspire all of us that Lord is there for all of us. We may not pursue, but the opposite person who is in that enemy category, they were able to pursue. They are more fortunate to say, because they see the Lord. So, how Lord acts for his devotees' purpose, we see one incident in Chaitanya Charitamrita, more elaborated in Chaitanya Bhagavata. This is between, there was one devotee by name Sridhara, Kola Vecha Sridhara. Kola means banana, Vecha means the seller. A Sridhara who used to sell banana, fruits, leaves, cups. So once Lord accepted that Maha Prakasha form. For 21 hours he was completely in that complete ecstasy. After that he was inviting all his personal associates and he was blessing everyone. So in that context he wanted to bless Sridhara also. So he called Sridhara. And he was asking, Prabhu bole, Sridhara dekaha rupa mora, ashta siddhi dana aji kari dena tora. Said, my dear Sridhara, please visualize my form. Today I am going to bless you with Ashtasiddhi, 8 mystic perfections. Mata tuli chahe maha purusha Sridhara, tamala shyamala deke shei vishwambara. So, Sridhara, the exalted devotee, raised his head and when he saw the Lord, Vishwambara, he saw him as Tamala Varna. Tamala Varna means blackish complexion, which is Krishna's color. Hate Mohana Vamshi Dakshine Balarama. In his hand there was the enchanting flute, Mohana Vamshi. Dakshine, to his right side, was Balarama. Maha Jyotirmaya Sabe Deke Vidyamane. The entire place was filled with bright effulgence. Kamala Tambula Dei Hatere Upare Chaturmukha Panchamuka Age Stuti Kare. So Kamala, goddess of fortune, holding Tambula within her hand and she was offering it to the Lord. Chaturmukha Panchamuka Age Stuti Kare. There was Brahmā and Shiva who were offering prayers in front of the Lord. Mahafani chatra dare shirera upare. Ananta, who was holding as an umbrella on the top of the Lord. Shanaka Narada Shuka deke stuti kare. All the other great devotees, Shanaka, Narada, Shukadeva Goswami, they are all offering prayers. Prakriti Swarupa Sabha Yoda Haste Kari. Even Mother personified earth or Prakriti, Durga. She was standing there with folded hands. Stuti Kare Chaturdike Parama Sundari. Then all the other personalities, most beautiful women standing around, all around, they were offering prayers. Sai Shri Radha Govindaki. Deki Matra Sridhara Haila Suvismita Sai Mata Dhaliya Padila Prutivita. So seeing this itself, he became very astonished, Sridhara. And his mind was reeling. And he fell to the ground unconscious. Uta Uta Sridhara Prabhura Ajna Hoila. Then Lord said, wake up, wake up. Prabhu Vakya Sridhara say Chaitanya Paila. So by the words of the Lord, Chaitanya became back to consciousness. Sridhara came back to consciousness. Prabhu bole, Sridhara Amara Karastuti. Lord said, my dear Sridhara, offer prayers unto me. Sridhara bolaye, Prabhu Muni Mudamati. Sridhara said, sir, I am a foolish person. I am an ignorant person. What can I offer you prayers? Konstuti Jano Muni ki Mora Shakati. What potency do I have? And what prayers do I know? Prabhu bole, Tora Vakya Matra Mora Stuti. Just by your words itself is my glorification. Prabhuru Ajnaye Jaganmata Saraswati Pravishila Jihvaya Sridhara Kare Stuti. By the mercy of the Lord, by the empowerment of the Lord, Saraswati entered onto the tongue of Sridhara and she started glorifying the Lord. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Jaya Vishwambara Jaya 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 Navadvipa Purandara. So he started glorifying, oh my dear Lord, Vishwambara, oh my dear Lord, Mahaprabhu, all glories to the Lord of Navadvipa. Jaya Jaya Ananta Brahmanda Koti Nada, Jaya Jaya Sati Punyavati Garbhajata. He said, Ananta Brahmanda Koti Nata. He is the master of unlimited universes. Nata, maintainer, master. And all glories unto the personality who is son of Mother Sachi, who came out of the womb of Mother Sachi. Jaya Jaya Veda Gopya Jaya Dvijaraja Yuge Yuge Dharma Pala Kari Nana Saja. He said, all glories unto the personality who is more confidential in the Vedas, Veda Gopya. Jaya Jaya Dvijaraja, the best of the Brahmanas. Yuge Yuge Dharma Palakari Nana Saja. He accepts various forms to protect the religious principles. Guda Rupe Sambhaila Nagare Nagare Vina Tumi Janaile Ke Janite Pare. So you roam around city to city, unknown to all, Guda Rupe. Vina Tumi Janaila Ke Janite Pare. Unless you reveal yourself, who can know you? Tumi Dharma, Tumi Karma, Tumi Bhakti Jnana, Tumi Shastra, Tumi Veda, Tumi Sarva Dhyana. Saying, you are that Dharma, you are that Karma, and you are that Bhakti, you are that Jnana. Everything is you. Tumi Shastra, you are that Shastra. Tumi Veda, you are that Veda. Tumi Sarva Dhyana, you are that complete meditation. Tumi Siddhi, Tumi Riddhi, Tumi Bhoga, Yoga. Tumi Shraddha, Tumi Daya, Tumi Moha Loba. So all the qualities, whatever we have, everything is you only. Tumi Indra, Tumi Chandra, Tumi Agni Jala, Tumi Surya, Tumi Vayu, Tumi Dana Bhala. You are the same demigod, you are the demigods. Your expansions are demigods. You are that Bala and you are that Dana. You are the wealth and you are the strength. Tumi Bhakti, Tumi Mukti, Tumi Aja, Tumi Bhava, Tumi Va Hoibe Kena, Tomare say Ye Sabha. You are Bhakti, you are devotional service, you are that liberation. You are Brahma, you are Shiva. But why consider you to be them? Tumi va haive kena, tomare ye sabha. They are all subordinate unto you. Purve morastane tumi apane balaila. Tora ganga deke mora charana salila. So previously you told me the water of your Ganges has emanated from your feet. The water has emanated from my feet. Tabu mora papa chitte nahila smarana na janila muni tora amulya charana. At that time, because of my mind was cluttered with sinful activities, I could not recognize your glorious position. I could not understand the value of your lotus feet, which is invaluable. Ye tumi karila dhanya gokula nagare ekane haila navadvipe purandara. So you roamed around Vrindavana and made it most glorious. Now again you are roaming around this Navadvipa Dhama. Rakiya vedhavo bhakti sharira bhitare hena bhakti Navadvipe haila bahire. So till now you have concealed bhakti within yourself. Now we have manifested that entire bhakti within this Navadvipa. Bhakti yoge Bhishma Toma Janila Samare Bhakti yoge Yashodaya Bhandila Tomare. So it was through Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, Bhishma conquered you on the battlefield. And it was by Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, Yashoda conquered you while trying to bind you up to the motor. Bhakti Yoge Tomate Vechila Satyabhama Bhakti Vashe Tumi Kande Kaile Goparama. By Bhakti Yoga only Satyabhama sold you to Narada Muni. And by Bhakti Yoga only you sat on the shoulders. You carried a damsel, Vrajagopi, on your shoulders. Because Radharani, when she felt exhausted, you carried Radharani on your shoulder. Ananta Brahmanda Koti Vahe Yaramane Say to me Sridama Gopa Vahila Apane. Unlimited universes. You are carrying the unlimited universes in the form of Ananta. And Sridama, when you lost in a cave, you carried Sridama. Yaha hoite apanara parabhava hoya sei bada gopya loke kahara na kaya. You are conquered by bhakti, therefore it is most confidential. Ordinary people cannot understand this. Bhakti lagi sarvasthane parabhava pani jiniya vedavo tumi bhakti lukhaya. So by devotional service you become conquered. You therefore hide devotional service and wander about like a conqueror. Say maya haila churna aranahi lage hera deka sakala bhuvane bhakti mage. So this is characteristic of you, which is now shattered and inactive. The entire world hankers for your devotional service. Say kale harila jana dui charistane e kale bhandiba toma sarva jane jane. At that time you were defeated by only 2 or 4 persons, but now you will be bound by one and all. In Vedic times, that pure devotees who had conquered you were very few, like Arjuna, Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhishma, Kunti. But now everybody by their bhakti will conquer you. In Kali Yuga you will be conquered by more devotees. Maha Shuddha Saraswati Sridhare Suni Vishmaya Paila Sarva Vaishnava Gani. So that potency of the words which are coming because of the influence of Mother Saraswati, everywhere very much astonished. Prabhu bole Sridhara Vachiya Mage Vara Ashta Siddhi Dimu Aji Tomare Gochara. He said, ask me a benediction. I am going to give you all that Ashta Siddhis upon you. Sridhara bolena, Prabhu Ara Bandaiva Takaha Nishchita Tumi Arana Pariva. Why you are trying to more bind me to this material world by this insignificant Ashta Siddhi? Stay peaceful, and for this will not possible be again. Prabhu bole, Darshana Mora Vyartha Honaya Avashya Paiba Vara Ye Chitte Laya. Because you have satisfied me, I am not going to leave you. You have to take some vara, some benediction from me. You should not waste this opportunity. Maga Maga Punah Punah Bole Vishwambara Sridhara Bolaye Prabhu Deha Ye Vara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking, take one benediction, take one benediction. Sridhara said, give me this one benediction. What do you want? Ye Brahmana Kadi Nila Mora Kola Pata Say Brahmana Havuka Mora Janma Janmanata. That Brahmana who used to forcibly take away my banana leaves, be me by eternal master. Ye Brahmana Mora Sange Karila Kandala Mora Prabhu Havuka Tanra Charana Yugala. So that lotus feet of that Brahmana who constantly quarreled with me, be my object of affection. Bolite bolite prema badaye Sridhare Dui Bahutuli Kande Maha Uchchaishware. So while talking, he became very ecstatic, raising his hands. He was crying loudly. Sridharera Bhakti Deki Vaishnava Sakala Anyonya Kandena Sabha Haila Vihpala. Seeing the Bhakti in Sridhara, everybody started crying and everybody started appreciating that overwhelming response of Sridhara. Hasi bole Vishwambara Sunaha Sridhara Eka Maharaja Karon Tomara Ishwara. So laughing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Sridhara, I will make you the king of a great kingdom. Sridhara bolaye, Muni Kichu Nakcharana, Hena Kara Prabhu Yena Tora Nama Ghana. He said, I don't want anything. Let me only have one thing so that I can always chant your holy name. Prabhu bole, Sridhara, Amara Tumi Dasa, Eteke Dekila Tumi, Amara Prakasha. Because you are my servant Sridhara, that is why you are able to see my opulences. Eteke Tomaramati Bedana Hoila Veda Gopya Bhakti Yoge Tora Ami Dila. That is why when your mind will not deviate from me, because you are my very close devotee, your mind will not deviate from me. And I am giving you this devotion service which is very confidential, Veda Gopya. Jay Jay Dwani Hoila Vaishnava Mandale, Sridhara Paila Vara, Sunila Sakale. So everybody were saying, all glories, because Sridhara got the benediction. Dananahi, Jananahi, Nahika Panditya, Kichinibe E Sakala, Chaitanyate Bhritya. The associates, the servants of Lord Chaitanya, they do not want wealth, they do not want followers, no, they do not want any education. Ki Kariba Vidyadana Rupa Yashakule, Ahankara Badi Sabha, Padaya Nirmule. So because this Dana, Jana, everything and all only creates Ahankara in a person. So why do the devotees want that? It only simply brings fall down. Kala Mula Vechiya Sridhara Paila Yaha Koti Kalpe Kotishwara Na Dekiva Tata. In millions of kalpas, Lord Brahma will never see that Sridhara which received simply by selling bananas and banana stem. Ahankara Droha Matra Vishayate Ache Adah Pata Falatara Na Janaye Pache. Because of pride and enviousness, people fall down with no certain future. Deki Murka Daridra Ye Sajjanera Hase Kumpi Pake Yai Sei Nija Karme Doshe. When these foolish persons, when they laugh at this seemingly poverty of the devotees, they enter into Kumbhipaka hell for deriding Vaishnavas. From Skanda Purana, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was quoting in this respect too. Yohi Bhagavatam Lokam Upahasam Nrupottama Karoti Tasya Nashyanti Artha Dharma Yashashutaha. So when people start laughing at devotees, Bhagavatottamaha, then they lose their money, their dharma, their name, and their sutaha, their family, all things, everything will be lost. Nindam kurvanti ye muda Vaishnavana mahattamanam patanti pitirbir shardam Maha Raurava samnyate. So when people start blaspheming Vaishnavas, they along with their entire families, forefathers and all, fall to Maha Raurava hell. Hanti nindati vai dveshti Vaishnavanam nabhinandati krudyate yati no harsham darshane patanani sat. So when you see a Vaishnava, when you start deriding him, when you start blaspheming him, when you start scolding him, when you try to kill a Vaishnava, then even if you do not offer Vaishnava or feel joy upon seeing a Vaishnava, one certainly falls into hellish condition. So such is the problem with Vaishnava aparadha. So Vaishnava chinite pare karaha shakti achaya sakala siddhi dekaya durgati. Who has the ability to recognize a Vaishnava? Although Vaishnava possesses all perfections, he appears to be like a common man. He does not show off his opulences. So such is the glories of a Vaishnava. So there was one Vedic story about these glories of Vaishnavas and all. How their association can liberate even ghostly personalities. So there was one devotee, a Brahmana by name Santaptaka, who was completely detached from this material world and who was interested only to chant the holy name of the Lord and visit all holy places and have darshan of the Lord. So with that inspiration, he left his town and he started going on a pilgrimage. But on the way, he lost the path and ended up in a dead forest, which is very shrewd forest. Kakulu Durani Karadavi. Even birds cannot fly there. So dark, dense, and which is infested with all carnivorous animals. They are roaming around. And this forest is full of ghosts, bhuta, preta, pisacha. At one particular point, he came across a tree, which was a big banyan tree. And there was one dead corpse hanging around. And there were 5 pisachas eating the dead body. As soon as they saw this Santapaka, and when he saw that, he became frightened. And he started chanting more and more. That sound attracted that pisachas there, and they started running towards him. 2 caught his legs, 2 caught his hands, 1 caught his head. And they started fighting among themselves. I saw first, I should eat first. And they started pulling. One is catching leg, one is catching another leg, one is catching hand, one is catching another hand, one is catching head. And all of them are pulling. And with that they took him to the sky. And they are all counting how much meat is there on his body, how much one will get. So while they were doing all these things and all, this Brahmana has no other option. Unless he was already chanting the holy name of the Lord, he started more sincerely to chant the holy name of the Lord. And will Lord be simply staying silent? Lord immediately, without interfering this time, he thought, let me not interfere, let me inspire him in a different way. So he instructed one Manibhadra, one of the demon category, to accept a pisacha form like them and go and free this Brahmana. So immediately he came, Manibhadra, on the order of the Lord in the form of a pisacha. And with the 2 legs, he bound the 2 things who were catching the legs. With the 2 hands, he held the 2 pisachas in the hands. And with his 1 head, he gave a knock on the other one's head. And they were all surprised and they were all very much worried. He was beating them, bashing them, he was hitting them. It was like a WWF match. 1 person is to 5. He is finishing off them. And they were all becoming very much worried. And seeing that one dead body who was lying, which was their food, he took that Manibhadra and went away. When they saw that their food is vanished, so they came back again to hurt this Brahmana. When they came back and when they touched this Brahmana, immediately there was a change of heart in all these personalities. They immediately fell down at his feet and he said, my dear sir, please forgive us. We have done a great mistake by touching your Vaishnava. Please forgive us. Then they said, who are they and what were their names and why did they become that ghosts and pretas? The one was Paryushita, the second was Suchimukha, the third was Shigra Raga, the fourth was Rodaka, and the fifth was Lekaka. So everybody were explaining what was their previous life, why they become that ghost. The first was Suchimukha. So by the grace of the Lord, they remembered their past life and they were narrating to the Brahmana what happened, and Brahmana was asking them, why you accepted this horrible form. Santaptaka, bewildered by the situations. So the first one started narrating. Paryushita, he said, once I was a Brahmana. So once I invited a Brahmana for a Shraddha ceremony. So but the Brahmana came late. So out of feeling of hunger and thirsty, I ate up the food. And after eating whatever was left over, I fed that Brahmana. And because of this, when a guest was supposed to come, first I am supposed to feed the guest. Then only I am supposed to accept the food. The same issue. Durvasa and Ambarish Maharaj. So because I had offended that Brahmana by giving him my contaminated food, Paryushita. The next time when I quit this body, I became a demon, Paryushita, in this ghostly form. Because of this, he cursed me to become a ghost. Then the other one was Suchimukha, that a Brahmana woman had gone to a tirtha named Bhadravata along with her son. So she was having some jewelry and all. So I was like a bandit who was staying there. I plundered their ornaments and all. That small boy, he was trying to drink a water. So I snatched that pot and drank away that water. That boy died out of thirst. And the mother could not tolerate it. She jumped into a well and committed suicide. Because of this offense, I became a demon, Rakshasa. Suchimukha means where my mouth is stitched. with only a small hole where I can't even drink, I can't even eat. So I am struggling hard in this life because of that offense what I had committed. Then the third one was Shigraraga, who was a Vaishya. He along with his friend went to do a business in a far off place. So his friend earned so much money, I lost everything. While coming back on the way, near a river we were taking rest. Greediness rose in my mind. He was sleeping on my lap. I kicked him into the water and he died. I took all that wealth and came back home. I informed his wife that the robbers came and plundered and killed him. And the wife entered into sati, could not bear the separation from her husband. Because of me, 2 people died. And that curse came back to me. That's why Shigraraga. I became the demon by name Shigraraga. Shigra means quick. Because quickly I ran away with their wealth. After killing my friend, I became as Shigraraga. The fourth one was Rodaka. I was a Shudra. And because the king liked me, he gave me 100 villages for my maintenance. So I used to enjoy with that money, all that money what was coming there. I had a brother who was a very poor person. So I was not ready to share my wealth with anyone. So my parents were secretly giving some money to my brother. So I became so much infuriated, I put my parents into prison. And I was holding them so that they will not give any money to my brother. My brother, because of utter poverty, he died. My parents, out of frustration, they died. Because of this offense to my family members, I became Rodaka. Rodha means which is an obstacle or prison. Because I placed my parents in the prison and gave them pain, I became a demon in the next life. Then the other one was Lekaka. He said, I was a Brahmana who used to live in the city of Avanti. I was employed by the king as a priest in a temple. And the temple had many devatas photos which were adorned with money and various jewels. One day, out of greediness, I took one crowbar, and I started damaging the deities and started plundering away all the wealth. I disfigured all the deities while I was trying to remove that stones and valuable jewels and everything and all. So the king, when he got to know that the entire temple was damaged by somebody, he said, I am not going to spare, even if it be a Brahmana, I am going to destroy him. Because of the fear of this punishment, I ran away from that place. While I was going away in the night, I thought the king will come back to me at any time. So I went to the palace with a sword. I killed the king in the bed itself while he was sleeping, and took that wealth and ran away. And in the forest, a tiger attacked me and killed me. And because of my offense to the deities and to the king, I became this demon by name Lekaka. Lekaka means one who is good at writing. So since he marked the deities with his crowbar, so he became the demon by name Lekaka. When everybody narrated their story, and when there was the change of their heart by the touch of this Brahmana, immediately Lord Vishnu appeared there and he blessed all of them. 6 Vimanas came from the spiritual world and took all of them back home, back to God. So just by that Brahmana being a devotee of highest category and his faith in the holy name, not only he delivered himself, but he delivered the other 5 ghosts also. So such is the glories of the holy name, chanting of the holy name. So whenever these prayers are offered by the demigods or all these things and all, it is for our own benefit. The Lord is already glorified. Who can glorify the Lord? But all these things, whenever there is an opportunity for us, it will uprise our consciousness. It will bring us closer to the Lord. The more the closer we come, the more we become purified and the more we develop attachment for the Lord. So this is what happened here. So we'll see further details in the next verses. We'll stop here. Any questions or doubts?
many people criticizing us, saying that we are deviants or this is not correct and that's not. So, should we continue engaging in our devotional services, or should we also try to counteract these criticisms?
No, what is primary duty at that particular point of time? What is your service? So you are at book distribution. People will come to argue with us. What we should do? Our primary duty is to sell books, because that is our duty. So when you are free, when there is nobody, and when you are fully talented, that you can counteract the opposite person, you can go and argue. Or if we can't, and the situation is not right because everybody are supporting you, be silent. So sometimes silence is also good. Lord, to avoid foolish people. When elephant is walking, so many kuttas will bark. Will elephant turn and try to address them? That is waste of your time. Because when you have to argue also, that person should be of proper knowledgeable capacity. Simply out of blah 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 if he talks, and if you are trying to teach Vedas to him, is it worth? So you have to take a call. Who is that person? What is his capacity? We see worth of discussion or not.
So sometimes that silence, they will accept it
Let
as
them
failure.
accept. That doesn't put down our capacity, no? If you talk there, we will become foolish then. So you have to be very careful, not to put down my value. And who is there judging there? Let the Lord judge, let the Guru judge. Not the people will not. They will not be able to understand. Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की, जय। गौर